I want to show you how the Albanian people are responding to this beautiful project. That is how most people want to live, according to Ivanka. They're out in the streets.
It's not, there is not a project yet. You have to just listen to me because there is no project. Again, you don't want to listen. Let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me finish. What is this? What's wrong with you?
Go ahead.
Let me finish. So the group, which is not just Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump, is a broader group.
This is within 4 days. I've spoken to people on the ground. It continues to grow, and they're calling for the resignation of all government, both sides, all parties, everybody out. They've had enough of this stuff.
Because they're corrupt.
Since communism, there's been land disputes. My family had their land stolen from them, never returned after communism. Cuba's going to have the same problem after the collapse, if they ever collapse completely. So the government took the land, redistributed people, 2 generations go by. There's people, so the whole thing is a nightmare right now.
Wait, but
they can figure it out for the Kushners though. So I can't get back my family's land. Many Albanians have deeds to their land. They can't figure it out. But for him, one of the most precious pieces of property we have, they figured it out real quick.
So you're saying when the communist Russia put it behind the Iron Curtain, they took away private property. Yeah. And so you're saying that even though people who have deeds to the lands, they still can't get their land back. But somehow Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump could come in and take a whole island. By the way, that's protected as a sanctuary.
If you Google...
Yeah.
Sorry, Kurt. If you Google ZVERN, the spelling of that place, it'll show you, even on Google Maps, protected delta. Even though the island's not, it's still in that area. It's in that region. What do you think is going to happen when you disrupt the natural land and the way the water flows and the flow? You know how many, I forgot we have flamingos.
Oh, yes, there's flamingos.
Yes. I didn't know that. Well, look,
dude, it's so gorgeous there. I want to take you guys there.
I choose to see it as a land without a people for a people without a land. The Kushners.
Do you guys know the backstory too?
So hey, hang on. Well, let me just play this clip. And so here I was watching Judge Napolitano talk with Colonel Larry Wilkerson, and he tells you about the corruption. You're just telling me that the people in the streets of Albania want everybody out of government, and he kind of tells you this. Watch this.
It is, and you understand why Witkoff and Kushner would be involved in it.
So he's talking about Witkoff and Kushner being the negotiators with Iran. And he says, you understand why they would be the negotiator, 2 real estate guys, because
my understanding is it's indirect, but their main interest in all of this is to be in locations where they can strike deals and make contracts. They're after money as much as they are after any solution, diplomatically or otherwise.
Hang on, it keeps going. He keeps going. Listen to this.
And nothing about what I just said is more true than I'm told now in Albania, which I would put down right now at the North Korean working group that was the most formidable working group I've ever been on in government. About 75 of us from all over the interagency group. We had the FBI, we had the Secret Service, we had Treasury, we had State, we had Defense, we had everybody. And we cooperated and we worked together like nothing I've ever seen before. Even there, we concluded at the end of that North Korea was the only criminal state in the world. A criminal state. They made their hard currency off crime, period, including the top guy. Now, I have to say Albania tops them.
What does Albania do?
Everything you could imagine. Organ trafficking in people, trafficking in stolen automobiles, trafficking in illicit activities like drugs. And I mean, we did this, Judge, to a certain extent with the business of bombing the Serbs for 78 straight days, then recognizing Kosovo, which is not a whole lot better than Albania. He's doing a lot of
whitewashing here, Jimmy.
Okay, so
he's doing a lot of white. This guy, I like some of the stuff he said until he got into that whole thing. First of all those rumors are coming from the Serbian regime of Milosevic, who the current prime minister right now, Vučić, is one of Milosevic's. This is a guy that was about to be convicted for crimes against humanity. Forget what he did to the Albanians, just what he did to the Bosnians. And they were trying to accuse Albanians of organs and this and that. We haven't had one that I know of convicted yet. Our prime ministers of these regions have gone 3 times to The Hague and stood. Their leaders seem to run and hide. The Albanians have defended these allegations. The reason, Kosovo used
Milosevic was
the butcher of the Balkans. He was the butcher of the Balkans.
So didn't he get tried at The Hague?
He did, but he mysteriously died.
Okay.
While standing trial.
All right.
The Hague is just for Albanians and black people. We know this.
So listen, am I denying there's not a criminal element? I think we have a criminal element in Washington, D.C. right now, but there's criminals all over. But yes, there was
the idea it's foreigners that are more than America in trafficking. When you had the people from the guy exposing the Sound of Freedom con job, that's what they do is they say foreigners do it more than America.
So here, tell me about this. So this is Kushner, Trump's Zionist son-in-law, buys a coast in Albania. Then on the opposite coast, Israelis are buying land in Puglia. Some say it will become a strait all in the hands of the Israelis. Conspiracy.
They've also bought a lot of land in Greece and Montenegro.
Oh, okay. The Israelis did.
A lot of Israeli citizens.
Cyprus, they're taking over too, right?
So they are, again, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a Chinese guy. I don't care. These are small countries that no one gave a shit about. Now that they've done everything they've needed to do, they're going after the last pockets, in my opinion, around the world. To me, that's a very important piece of water there. And I don't think Sazan Island is just about developing a resort. I think there's a more devious agenda there. God knows best. Okay, the fact that it has all those bunkers, it was used by the dictator to try to ward off any, foreign attacks. Who knows? Maybe they're building it so that if they release, ticks that we get allergic to in Albania, from if we get bit by a tick, we can't eat the amazing red meat. Maybe they're gonna get to go in the bunker, but the Albanians, thank God, we have a lot of bunkers.
So
this is happening all over. I agree. I agree with you, dude. I think that's exactly what they're doing. Don't forget the trafficking. Ivana is like one of them MK, dolls.
Well, she converted to Judaism, 100%.
Right, because she's a puppet.
Yeah,
they get trained. Remember, Trump got his wife bred and trained by Epstein.
Yeah,
right.
That's crazy.
And her mother, Ivanka's mother, is buried under one of Trump's golf courses. That's a fact.
So A. Talib says, it's not about tourism. Acquiring land along the Albanian coastline is merely a cover for a project to control the most critical ports and waterways leading into the heart of Europe. What is unfolding is an attempt to secure an alternative to Russian gas, establishing a maritime route for transporting gas from anywhere in the Middle East through Israel and into Europe.
And guess what they discovered? I forgot. You just helped me link another point.
So they
just discovered one of the largest reserves of natural gas off the Albanian coast. Jimmy just solved the puzzle. Even an Albanian couldn't do it. Jimmy Dore just man, I knew you should have been a detective.
Well, if you look at the map, you can see that's going to be a valuable real estate. Like, look at Hormuz now. Like, obviously, that's strategic.
I told my father to buy in the coast. Didn't listen. You go buy. Begged him to buy after the fall of communism. But it was dangerous, Jimmy. You try to go buy a property. 10 people show up and say, I'm the owner. Some of them, their ancestors before communism. Someone that lived down there for 50 years. And it became a problem in Albania.
Yeah, and it's still a problem.
It's still a problem 30 years after the fall.
But somehow the Kushners can come in and just take it.
The biggest chunk, only basically real island we have. Like, that's crazy. That belongs to the Albanian people.
So this,
period.
This guy broke it down, AJ Jeff. He says it's a pay-to-play, sanctions go away, 3 brothers paid, Trump's family stayed. For the past several weeks, I tracked one chain of dealings from 2021 yacht. So that's the yacht that they all agree they were on, the Rothschilds yacht. Introduction to the Adriatic to the U.S. sanctions repeal signed into law on December 25th to a $4 billion resort that broke ground 6 months later on a former Soviet military island. Every fact is on the public record. Every actor is named. The dates line up in the ways that are difficult to call coincidence and expensive to defend. So here's where it goes, right? Here's where it starts. 3 Syrian-born Qatari billionaires with $12 billion Syrian reconstruction portfolio sat behind a U.S. sanctions wall called the Caesar Act. So there was a sanction on the Syrian billionaire. And then for 6 years, they were waiting patiently for the right moment. This act served as a wall that blocked access to their financing and sanctioned nearly all their wealth. They lobbied and partnered with President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, on a $4 billion Albanian resort. Kushner convinced his father-in-law, Trump, to sign the law that brought this wall down by removing all the sanctions on Syria. 6 months later, the resort broke ground. 3 brothers, Syrian reconstruction portfolio became financeable. The Trump family took a position. The Albanian government rolled out the carpet. No registered lobbyist appears in any filings. Read that again. This could collapse the government. So let me just read real quick.
It's going to collapse.
It's going to collapse the Albanian government, you say?
I don't see how Rama survives this without having to resign. Albanians, once they start, brother.
Okay. So let me
They don't stop.
Here's the 5 principles.
That is true, yeah.
So the 5 principles involve Jared Kushner, owner of Affinity Partners per SEC filing. He's the son-in-law of Donald Trump. Ivanka, she's the public-facing partner of the Albanian project. And then there's the Kayet brothers, Mutaz, Ramaz, and Mohammed El Kayet, Doha-based but Syrian-born nationals, Qatari nationalized billionaires. Their conglomerate, Power International Holdings, that's PIH, holds a reported $12 billion in Syrian reconstruction contracts that were unbankable under the Seizure Act. So they had to get that Seizure Act gone. And then Edi Rama, that's the Prime Minister of Albania, personally chaired the committee that granted strategic investor status for this island project.
Mhm.
And then there's Nathaniel Rothschild. So these are the 5 people involved in this.
It's not Matt, it's Nat.
So, it's Nat, not Matt. Okay, Nathaniel Rothschild, British financier, introduced Kushner to Rama,
The Prime Minister.
the Prime Minister of Albania, on his yacht in the summer of 2021. Kushner
Natty.
has stated this. So that's how this all came about. So Kushner lobbies his father. They get rid of the Seizure Act. So now this Qatari money, they get funded from the Saudis, the Emiratis. I'm talking about Kushner. And so that's where this is. So there's a lot more to it. I won't go through it. It's too long to read. But here's what BirdLife says. Albania is destroying a protected wild coast for President Trump's son-in-law and lying to Parliament about it. Heavy machinery has already been tearing through one of Europe's most ecologically important coastal habitats since late April without permits, without environmental impact assessment, and with the Albanian government providing false explanations to Parliament. The destruction is taking place at the, how do you say that?
Pish Pora Narta.
Protected area with the...
within Vjosa Nart protected landscape, part of the delta of the Vjosa, one of Europe's last wild rivers.
And a luxury resort development backed by Jared Kushner, Donald Trump's son-in-law, has been planned for the same area. Albanian Prime Minister Edi Rama has confirmed that the construction is directly connected. The area shelters 70 endangered species and more than 200 bird species, including flamingos and Dalmatian pelicans.
Oh.
It sits on the Adriatic Flyway, a critical migration corridor for millions of birds traveling between Africa and Europe each year. The surrounding waters are among the last Mediterranean refuges for the Mediterranean monk seal, one of the world's most endangered marine mammals.
The whole Mediterranean, every European, regardless of where you live in Europe and around the world, this will affect your Europe, your natural creatures, seals and monks and birds that all of you can enjoy and all of you can visit beautiful Albania. And no one's against development, bro.
Right.
But there's certain zones and certain regions, and the people of Albania should be included in these decisions, and they shouldn't be outpriced to even have. Look at Croatia. I love Croatians. They're very good people. Look at Greece. We don't want to be the next Mykonos. Yeah, we want the world to visit us, but we don't want to price out our own locals either, where they can't even enjoy their own country. There'll be
New
not
York
a
does it.
sliver.
It's great.
There'll not be a sliver of beach left for the Albanians themselves. So
it's also a key nesting ground for the loggerhead sea turtle. BirdLife's Albanian partner has called the scale of destruction unprecedented, the worst ever recorded in Albanian protected areas. And guess what they did? So now, because of the people are in the streets,
good.
Albanian freezes assets in Kushner resort probe.